Once upon a time, in a lush, green forest, there lived a massive herd of deer. They were guided by a very wise and experienced leader. He understood the changes of the seasons and could foresee the hidden dangers of the world. But as time went on, the old leader grew weak and frail. One day, he called his two sons, Leo and Karl, to his side. "My sons, I am old now. I am no longer as strong or as fast as I used to be. Therefore, from this day onward, I will divide my herd of 1,000 deer, equally between the two of you, 500 each. You must now lead them." The old leader loved his sons equally, so he split his responsibilities right down the middle. Both brothers became the new leaders of their respective groups. But leadership is not just about holding a position. A true leader is tested by the crisis ahead. When Leo and Karl took charge, it was harvest season. In the fields nearby, the rice crops were glowing gold and perfectly ripe. The scent of the crops was highly tempting to the deer, but a deadly trap was waiting for them. The human farmers were guarding their crops day and night. To stop any invading animals, they dug deep trenches around the fields, filled them with sharp stakes, and set up numerous traps and snares. Many wild animals had already lost their lives there. Foreseeing this danger, the old father warned his sons urgently. "This is harvest time. If your deer encounter humans, they will face great tragedy. You must lead your herds away from here, up to the isolated mountaintops. Wait there patiently until the harvest is completely over, and then you may return." The father's instructions were clear: retreat from danger and wait patiently. With that, the two brothers led their groups and headed toward the mountains. The journey up the mountain was not easy. Along the way, the ripe rice fields were clearly visible. The deer were starving, and they desperately wanted to go down and eat. Right here, the difference between the two leaders became clear. Leo remembered his father's words deeply. He understood the danger. He strictly and firmly forbade his followers from entering the fields. He set a clear rule. Because his herd listened to his command, all 500 deer reached the mountaintop safely, without a single injury. But Karl was different. Karl himself was overwhelmed by the desire to eat the ripe crops. When a leader cannot control his own desires, he fails to guide others. He did not enforce any rules. As a result, his deer took risks and sneaked into the fields. On the way up, many of them fell into traps, were pierced by stakes, and lost their lives. By the time they reached the mountaintop, their numbers were already heavily depleted. A good leader guides followers toward what is good for them, not just what they want to do. Karl's lack of discipline was not kindness. It was a path to destruction. Even on the mountaintop, their leadership styles remained completely different. Leo was still cautious. He told his herd, "Do not go near the villages. If you must move around to graze, do it only at midnight, when the humans are fast asleep." Leo restricted the dangerous times and places, but allowed them freedom when it was safe. His herd followed the rules, and they lived peacefully, without any harm. Meanwhile, Karl completely neglected his duty. There were no warnings, no reasoning, and no discipline. He told his herd, "Live as you want, go where you want, and eat what you want." Without any rules, Karl's deer wandered around at all the wrong times and in all the wrong places. They constantly ran into humans and were captured and killed day after day. After several weeks, Karl's herd shrank and shrank until finally, not a single deer was left. They were all destroyed. Karl was left completely alone. Eventually, the harvest season ended. The fields were clear and the dangers were gone. Just as their father had instructed, it was time for the brothers to come down from the mountain. When the old father looked up, he saw two completely different scenes. Leo was coming down, happily, surrounded by his original 500 deer. Not a single one was missing. They were all safe, jumping and playing. But Karl was walking down slowly, in deep silence and complete loneliness. He had no followers left. He was entirely by himself.